Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and today I want to talk about how to read auras. And guys, I am not going to give you the same information that literally every website and video says, which is to just stare at your hand or stare at somebody with a white background and see, what you see. Absolutely not, because let me tell you something. Not everybody has the same vision. You know what I mean? Like, some people might have a reduced vision depending on the room you're in, the lighting you have, the color shirt you're wearing. That can actually change the way you see that little energy field around you. Not only that, but when you do that method, you're only limited to what your eyes can see. Guys, as humans, we don't have the best eyesight compared to like the things that are possible to see in the world compared to other animals. So it's so limiting, and people's auras are so much more vibrant and there's so much that goes into it. It's not just the color, there's also texture, patterns. There is tattoos that someone might not even have on their actual skin. There is wings, there's crowns, there's sparkles. There's so much you can see on someone's aura that goes far beyond what your human eyes can perceive. This video is sponsored by myself. If you want an aura reading with me, go ahead on over to spiritpsychic.org. I tried to price it as moderately as possible because it takes me a long time and a lot of energy to do these readings, usually an hour to sometimes 3. I'm typing the whole thing up. What you're gonna do is go to my website, click the listing, purchase it. You're gonna receive my email, or you can message me on the website sending me some photos of yourself, and then I'm gonna look at them and I will see your aura, feel your aura, pick up on your aura, and I will write it all down in a PDF document and send you the document. I did these readings all the time on Etsy. I've never received a bad review on Etsy from them, and they're actually a very popular gift. So if you have a friend and you want to give them an unusual birthday gift or something like that, go ahead and get them an aura reading. I also got a lot of people who just bought these aura readings to see what their family and friends looked like as well, what their auras were like. It's just a fun thing to do. So thank you for anyone who supports my business in that way, and let's get started. Not only that, but when you do like this method where it's a white background, or even if you use technology, I just don't find it to be accurate. I'm sorry guys, I don't find it to be accurate. There, I said it. If I asked 10 people to read my aura like that, they'd all give me different answers, guys. I met one other person in my life. I didn't even meet them. They were on Twitter and they're like, let me read your aura, send me a picture of yourself. And then I did this fun thing. I went through all the replies and I read their aura the way I read it, and then I would like come up with the colors that I saw, and then I'd look at her answer to see if it was the same, and every single one was the same. And guys, I went through like probably like 50 replies. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 was different, but like for the majority, every single one was the same. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And here's how you do it. You either look at your person and you look at your person in person, I guess that makes sense, or you look at a photo of them. I find it slightly easier to do this when you're looking at a photo of them, because when I'm viewing someone in person, my mind gets distracted a lot, and I'm like, I hope they don't think I'm like being weird staring at them so much, and they're moving around a lot, and it's just, I find it so much easier to just look at a picture. And then I kind of just look at them and like kind of let my eyes zone out a little bit and kind of just pick up their energy as a whole. And I'm not specifically looking for their colors or anything like that, whatever intuitive things that I pick up on them, I take notice to that, because not only is your aura something physical that you can see, it's also your energy that you can feel. It's what makes a person a person. It's their personality, it's their viewpoint on life, it is just their overall vibe, man. So if you're having a hard time really like coming up with colors or patterns or what it looks like, try to tune into the vibe you're getting from that person. You might look at someone and say they look very professional, they give me the vibe that they are somebody who like follows the rules a lot, have a good professional job, but then like on the side they might like have really fun, wild weekends and outings with their girlfriends. I don't know why, they're just giving me that vibe. Pick up on that energy, because that is their aura. And if you're doing a professional aura reading, they probably want to hear these things anyways. Sometimes I look at people and I just pick up on the vibe that they're very intuitive and very artistic and daydream a lot. And guys, sometimes how they visually appear might not even give you any indication of this vibe of this aura, okay? Someone could dress totally plain, have a totally plain haircut, look plain Jane, but when you're looking at them, for some reason you just get this feeling about who they are. So definitely pay attention to that and don't talk yourself out of it or try to rationalize it. Like if someone sent me a photo of them in like a business suit and you know their hair is all perfectly done and they're like smiling with their co-workers, I just don't catch the vibe about who they are outside of that professionalism. They could be someone completely different, you know? So don't just rely on what they look like, don't rely on what photo they're presenting to you, because sometimes how they visually look like doesn't really say that much about who they are and what their aura is. Then, and this is the part I really have a hard time teaching to other people, because I don't know how I started doing this. It kind of just happened. I remember one day I was meditating deeply, and then there was a few other times where, you know, I took some hallucinogens and I just saw auras when I was in those moments. And ever since then, like, I was able to see auras. So I don't really know how to teach you how to see auras or to perceive this with your mind's eye necessarily, but just look at them and catch a vibe about what that aura looks like. When I do aura readings, usually a person is two tones, you know, they might be like yellow aura all around, and then I'll see like, what I see a lot is like other colors within that main color that kind of gently go in and out, they move around. So auras move like almost all of the time every time I read an aura. And then also I'll see some patterns, especially like on the skin. The skin color of the aura may turn up to be like a purple or a blue, but then their outer aura is like yellow with like green going in and out, and then on their skin there's like an outline of sacred geometry, flowers, or like tribal symbols sometimes, not all the time. And I'll point those things out. Okay, you might get a vibe that this person's aura was once like a nymph running through the woods, seducing men and women alike and just being one with nature. Okay, you might get the vibe that this person is literally an earth angel. They're an angel that came down on earth to help humanity out. You might catch the vibe that this person just likes incarnating as a human a lot. Every time I do an aura reading, not only am I seeing their actual aura, I am catching a whole vibe about this person, who they are, what they're like, how other people perceive their aura subconsciously. And also, I can see a lot of times into someone's past life or why they incarnated, what their life purpose is. All of that I get from an aura reading, which is why I don't like the method where you're just like, look at someone in a white background. It's like, there's so much more that a person carries in their aura. It's your energetic signature, guys. It's who you are. It is your coding. It is your energy. Also, I also want to point out, auras change over time, okay? Your aura when you were like a teenager can look completely different to when you're an adult, and you know, so on and so forth. You know, people evolve, people change. You might not have the same aura your entire life. So I just wanted you to know that. And if you're really advanced psychic, you can perceive someone's past, present, and future auras and just see their general path in life. And that's a whole way you can do an entire psychic reading for someone. So aura reading can get really deep, guys. It is so much more than just using technology to take a photo or seeing someone on a white background. Like, no, it's something you see with your mind's eye. And if you meet someone else who reads auras in this way, I think you'll be weirdly shocked at how similar your answers may be for when you read someone's aura. Whereas if you read it like with your eyes like that, like on a white background or with a camera, you're gonna get a different result every single time. So I just don't think it's accurate at all. I'll give you an example of how you might have already read an aura. I don't know if this is an example everyone can relate to, but have you ever just like looked at someone and say, that person looks like a doctor, or that person looks like they could be a teacher, or that person looks like a mom, or you get a vibe that person would be good at those things, even if they're not in that field. I remember my friend, I always used to say like she would make a perfect nurse or like a perfect like assistant to elderly living. I know that's so specific, but I'm like, she'd just be really good at like dealing with the public like that. She's not even in that job field, but she has the vibe to be good at that. If you've ever experienced anything like that, you're probably reading an aura in that moment, picking up on who they are, picking up on their energy. So that's a really good start. My number one piece of advice is to just trust your intuition, trust what you're perceiving. Like if you're looking at someone and you're like, I feel like their aura is like a purpley with like blue splashes, maybe even some green and like little sparkles of yellow all throughout, like that's probably what their aura is. Trust that intuition. Okay, another thing that I find find out a lot of people's aura colors are some of their most favorite colors. Like if I'm reading someone's aura and I'm like, oh, it's like a dark foresty green, they're like, that's my favorite color, how'd you know? And I'm like, well, I can see why it's your favorite color, because the energy of that color makes up who you are. You know, every color has an energy and everyone is energy, therefore everyone has their colors. This is kind of unrelated, or random rather, but sometimes I like perceive noises with people's auras too. Like I did an aura reading for this one girl and her aura was like the sound of water dripping in a cave in the middle of this wooded area with like a little stream going out of it. Like imagine what that sounds like. That's what her aura sounded like. Very rarely do I really pick up on sounds though, but it's definitely something that can happen too. So use all of your psychic senses when it comes to reading an aura. And thank you guys for watching me. I hope this inspires you to try to like look at other people's aura. Go on like Facebook or Instagram or something, even if they're strangers, like just look at their photo and catch their vibe. Try to, you know, just have fun thinking about what their aura is, what it looks like, catching a feel for it. I think you would be very shocked. Fun practice to do, so literally just practice and have fun with it. Thank you guys for joining me. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Bye! Mwah.